These are all the comics I've picked up since my last video, so I figured I'd do a bit of a collection update, and this is a bit of an extra special stack. So most of these are books that I picked up for myself, but one of them was picked up by my husband Luke for our anniversary, and Luke is not a comic guy. He doesn't really know very much about it. Am I training him well? I'll let you guys see in a moment, but first let's get into the stuff that I picked up. And these are all books I got at the Antique Mall, the Niagara Emporium here in Niagara Falls. And first little stack I got because they're cheap and I just think that these are cute. I got some Looney Tunes comics. I'm just a sucker for anything with Tweety Bird on it. I have been my entire life. So we got some cute Looney Tunes books and a couple Tweety and Sylvester as well. So, not really much to say about these. They're just cute. So, a little more from my old Tweety and Sylvester collection. I actually have their first comic appearance that I got in a dollar bin a little while back. So, I'm always just happy to pick up books like that. But I know you guys probably want to see a little more of the spicier stuff. So, next one I picked up was Firestorm, the Nuclear Man, issue number 1. This was $4.99. I just thought that seemed like a really good price for it. I've seen people charge a little bit more for this book and look to be in nice shape. So there you go. Firestorm, the Nuclear Man, number 1. I just picked up the newest Firestorm book that came out. I did not get around to reading it yet, but figured that this would be a good time to check out this one as well. And I picked up another one for my DC Comics Presents collection. So they had a bunch of DC Comics Presents books. A lot of them were ones that I already had, but this is one I was missing. I think, what is it, 49? Yeah, issue 49. This is Superman and Shazam. And this book out of the DC Comics Presents line seems to be one of the more key books, I guess. It's not really a key, I would say, but it is the first time, I think, that Superman, Shazam, and Black Adam are all in a book together, something like that. And I've seen this book go for more like $15, $20, so I picked this one up for $8.99. Thought that seemed like a good price for this book. I'm happy to have it. DC Comics Presents is a collection I've been adding a lot to, so I'm super happy to add this one to the collection for what I thought was a pretty reasonable price. And the last one that I picked up from the Antique Mall, I was a little bummed out because, as you can see, the spine on here is rolled. I think someone actually tried to take it out of the bag to flip through it, and when they put it back in, it got all messed up. But I'm not going to complain too much because the book was only $1.99, and I've seen this book go for quite a bit more on eBay. I looked through some of the eBay recent sales, and there was a recent sale for $1.99 in an auction, but that seemed to be a bit of an outlier. The rest of the sales I was seeing were significantly higher, and I think the reason for that is because this is a great Neal Adams cover. This is The Phantom Stranger, number 17, little Bronze Age horror, which is one of my favorite eras of DC to collect. And this is actually a bit of a key book. I don't remember exactly. I'll try to put it up on screen. I could tell right away it was a Neal Adams, and I knew I had to have it just for that reason. And I'm sure with a little bit of love and care, I could probably get this book realigned and get it to look a little bit nicer. But for now, I think it doesn't look too bad. I just think this is such a great deal for a Neal Adams book like this. So I'm very, very happy with that, even with the condition issues. I think that turned out to be a pretty good haul. If you guys have watched my channel before, you've seen I've had a lot of luck at that Antique Mall. If you want to see a little bit more of this Antique Mall, check out some of my other videos that I've done there. But I think I've kept you guys waiting long enough. I'm sure the anticipation is killing you right now. Let's show you guys what book Luke got me for our 10-year anniversary. Alright, so this is a book that, if you've been following my channel for a little while, you'll probably know that this is a book I've been looking to get in my collection for a while. It's a little bit on the pricier side for what I normally like to pay. You guys know that I like to get books for cheap. I really don't like spending even more than $50 on a book if I can avoid it, but unfortunately, there are some books that you just gotta pay up if you want to have it. This is one that I wanted. I was willing to pay up for it, but I wanted to wait and find the right copy. So I'll let you guys know. Do you think Luke did a good job and found a good copy of this? And there was actually a little bit of a funny story that went along with it, because if you guys know my husband Luke, you know he's a bit of a jokester and he likes to have fun. So, like I mentioned earlier, Luke is not a comic guy. He doesn't really read or know a lot about comics, and one comic in particular that he has read many times and loves is Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. And he recently completed his full set of first prints. Our anniversary was this past Friday on the 10th, so he woke up that morning and he's like, you know what, I want to read The Dark Knight Returns again. And that's something I joke about a lot on this channel. It seems like that's the only comic he ever wants to read, so I'm just like, oh, all right. He's like, can you grab me the first 2 issues? So I go to his comic box, and I just flip right to The Dark Knight Returns, and without even looking at it, I just pull the first 2 books out and bring them to him. I didn't even look at what's in my hand, and he's just kind of looking at them funny, and I'm like, hey, did I get you the right books? And he's like, no, I don't think you did. He handed them back to me, and right behind The Dark Knight Returns #1 was this right here. This is Batman 635. And if you guys don't know what this is, it's written right there. First appearance of Jason Todd as Red Hood. I have spoken a lot on this channel about my love of Red Hood. After Batman, I think Red Hood might be my favorite comic book character. And Jason Todd is a character that I want to collect all of his big key books. I do have the book where he died behind me. I'm not sure if it's actually showing up on camera, but I do have that. I have his first as Robin. I have all of his books after Crisis on Infinite Earths. I think the only one of his big key books I'm missing right now is his true first appearance, and that one is a little bit of a pricier book because it's a double key. It's considered the first Killer Croc as well, even though he's had multiple first appearances, but the one that's widely considered his first appearance is also Jason Todd's first appearance. So that is probably going to be the next book that I kind of try to go after to complete my Jason Todd key collection, but this is the one that I really wanted. I think I and most people will agree that Jason is Red Hood, and we all kind of like him as Red Hood more than Robin, so this is kind of the key book that I really, really wanted to have, and I think he did a great job. I think this is a great copy. And Luke went ahead and he picked this up at Freak Show Comics over in Canada. And whenever I mention it, people always assume that I'm Canadian. I am not. I'm from the Western New York area, which is right on the border of Canada. So we do go to a lot of the shops there. This book was 140 Canadian, which in American dollars came out to just a little bit over 100. So really not that bad. I'd say this is a pretty fair price for a nice minty copy of this book, which this one I think definitely is. So what do you guys think? Am I teaching him well? I think so, and this is a very proud moment. Thank you as always for watching. Peace out.